A sequence at the end.
Aaron's ready. Yep.
Nick
Here we
takes
go.
the ball out. Jameer gets it, swings it to you for three. Then come back. JJ runs a pick and roll. Perfect. That's how you guys have to share the ball to win, right?
Yeah, I thought that was great hustle by Nick. Tonight he had a few instances where he stayed on the offensive glass, which was hurting us in particular in the first half. So that was a good play by him, which led to some other good plays. But we had some great moments of sharing the basketball down the stretch that allowed us to hit some key shots.
Aaron, what changed from the first half to the second in terms of the turnovers? Was it as simple as just coming in here at halftime and saying, hey, you know, the turnovers have to stop?
Yeah, I mean,
what works?
a big part of it was how you start the game off. So I take a lot of responsibility for coming out with a few careless turnovers because it's, those type of things are just as contagious. So when we came in at the half, we saw that offensive rebounding and turnovers equated to almost 66% of their points. So we felt if we take care of our turnovers and do our best to keep them off the offensive glass, we would have a much better half.
2-0 on this homestand. We talked about. I mean, this is kind of a time for you guys to get right. Do you feel a little momentum kind of building now?
Yeah. Obviously these were two teams that we felt we should beat here at home. We got, some more tougher quality opponents in these next 3 games. So we'll have to amp it up, and of course we can't have the turnover problem or the offensive rebounding problem against these teams coming up, or we won't be down by 6 at half. It'll be a much larger deficit.
You entered the fourth quarter tied. You saw in an earlier game against Chicago, late game execution being important. What did you guys talk about entering that fourth quarter to make sure that you came out with a win tonight?
Well, the conversation was still defensively going into the fourth. We were fortunate to hit some key shots, and obviously JJ making his free throws down the stretch to seal the game. But defense was the key, getting the stops at the right time to at least keep that 2 to 4 point cushion, as the game kind of ticked away.
Aaron, talk about that home crowd support tonight. That's probably the loudest we've heard it in there so far this season. And also, on a more personal note, how does it feel to get a over 50% shooting night under your belt?
Yeah, it's been a somewhat slow start for me this season. It always feels good to kind of gain some momentum, gain some confidence, and more importantly, do it within a win. But the crowd support was great. They don't realize, or I'm sure they do realize, that we really do appreciate that support, and it gives us a lot of energy, especially down the stretch. So I was very happy that they were into the game and being entertained, and then also just putting some confidence in each and every player, including myself.
How hard is it to get into any kind of flow or keep it to a flow when those whistles seem like every other trip down the floor?
Yeah, I have to be careful. I can't I can't comment on the referee, but it's part of the game. It's part of the game. Sometimes it can cause frustration. Sometimes it can work out in your favor. Just happened to be one of those nights tonight where the whistles seem to be blowing a lot. They're just doing their job, and we did a good job of just fighting through it and still getting a W despite that.
It's very diplomatic.
Thank you.
A lot was made of their team coming in being physical on the boards, but down the stretch, you guys really manhandled them, set the pace. How did it feel to sort of knock a team around there coming down to the end?
Yeah, there was some silver lining to having such a horrible defensive rebounding first half, because it just kind of brought it to our attention for the second half. And because of that, we were kind of able to focus on it just a little bit more in the second half. And that's when it counts the most.
Thanks.
It's Aaron's
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.